We spend a lot of time with shippers, brokers, carriers. You guys see a lot of the partnerships we already formed. There's a lot that's coming down the pike. So we're really excited about this whole concept of paper to platform and partnership, and really bringing that end-to-end solution for the industry. So with that said, that concludes the solutions panel, and we're going into our final fireside chat with Cam Host, CEO of Everest. We'll be discussing a topic that I heard a few times today, a spin-off of what we call RPA. We're calling it LPA. Cam is actually a super experienced industry guy in the technology space. He's been an advisor to Zoom, and I'm super excited to have him a part of this fireside chat. Cam, welcome.
Thanks, Matt. I'm sitting in the other office, so it's
Yeah,
good
he was right next to me earlier. So, so real quick, I mean, let's just go through a couple of questions I had for you. And I know you have something you wanted to present, and hopefully we can show something to you guys too. We didn't have much demo today, but we can give you an example of how LPA or RPA works. But starting with the first question, how do you see automation happening in the logistics market?
Matt, I think I heard this throughout the day from the other panelists that logistic is very fragmented. And whenever you have a very fragmented system, you cannot do traditional system integration. I mean, of course, the best way to integrate different systems is through EDI, API, but sometimes you want to be very flexible. Say, okay, what if this way will bring better productivity? And RPA, which is a technology has been really a disruptor for the lots of industries, especially banking, financial services, where instead of rebuilding application from scratch, they integrate different part of different application through a robotic process automation. So we are taking those clues from other proven industry into logistic, making it to be reusable because logistic space is very fragmented. Lots of small companies. You don't have giants like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan that will have thousands of RPA developers. So we need to build reusable digital worker where sometimes you will give it to your partner. They would run it in their environment because they don't have the capacity to build these agents themselves. And so you become more like a disruptor for this space. And Zoom, through the Accelerate program, working with other AI companies that some are quite a market leader in this space, would actually make this to become reality.
Fantastic, great. So I guess that's a segue to my second question, which is how would the logistics and supply chain industry apply that RPA?
One thing that we have done at Everest for a couple of big clients, one Cisco system and one IBM, is we developed rapid application development platform, meaning that they wanted to see how we can build something very quickly using core technology of, in this situation that I'm going to talk about, Cisco. So being able to rapidly build application was really a desire path. So we are using those techniques that we did for Cisco, for Zoom. And what we are doing that is through an ecosystem of partner. Again, there was the theme of this conference is partnership. So if you tap into industry leaders that are in the forefront of AI, and here I have 4 of them on my presentation, then you're able to create an ecosystem very rapidly, and everybody wins because these vendors get a deal flow that is beyond what they could have done on their own. And what Zoom will get is an ecosystem of different software products that they all work together. And instead of building application that traditionally will take, let's say, 3 to 4 months, maybe you could build it in 2 weeks. All you do, you get access, you make sure it's a secure, and validate it. And then from that point on, you have a running system.
Great, thank you, Cam. Actually, I think you had some things you wanted to show us today. I don't know if we have that uh, that we can bring up here.
So this is a background about what we have done for Cisco, what we have done for IBM, and World Food Program, where we are responsible for creating an ecosystem of different partners. Again, we are using those experiences for those, uh, I would call it thought leaders of the industry to bring it for Zoom. So now we are able to actually facilitate this acceleration of partnership between different software or even technology company, because one of the area that we're a big believer is voice, which I could maybe have a touch on it. But in this presentation for today, I have four companies that we have built a partnership with, and maybe I kind of at the high level go over them one by one. So the first one, if you could go to next slides. So the first one is Centros. So Centros is a company based in Germany. They have done AI for past 25 years. Very deep expertise in AI. They actually sold the logistic business to Siemens some 20 years ago. So now they're in process of open sourcing their technology. So this is one partner that I know the founder, and I think they would be great as part of our ecosystem. And this is what we kind of coin internally as LPA, because if you want to create a logistic process automation platform, you need to talk the language of the customer. You need to talk the language of the shipping companies. So this way you're able to make everything to come together nicely. Next slide. So the other company that I've again known the founder, we have been working together for quite some time, is Qlytics. What they have done, which in the space of RPA, you have some of the big giant multi-billion-dollar companies. They provide the same capability, and we are creating a new hosted solution based on Qlytics technology, and it will be able to do many things that I just talked about earlier today. Next slide. So here, maybe I have a little demo for another company. This is based in Sweden. And if you could play the video. So here we are dropping a invoice into a kind of folder just to show the capability of the software. Automatically, as you can see, it will pick up the vendor name, vendor ID, payment terms, total, when is it due date to be paid. So now this is a reusable digital worker that we pass into our partner and say, if you use this part of your invoice processing would be automated. Next slide. If you could go to next slide. Okay. So Altview is another company that is actually uh, very close to the founder. The founder sold his company to Oracle some 20 years ago. And what they have done is they have created an application development platform that is almost, I would call it low code. So the application that you see on the background was built through this interface that you see in the foreground. Next slide. That is how we see, Matt, the future of the Zoom Accelerate platform, which is a solution studio for bringing lots of partners together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cam. Appreciate your time today. And this is how RPA will eventually change the logistics industry. I think it is a hot topic for a lot of people. So we're glad to have you on board.